Mackenzie Johnston with Cattle News Central, bringing you your January 11th cattle industry headlines, brought to you by Agri-Risk Advisors. They provide risk management programs to livestock producers all throughout the West. Whether you are concerned about weather or price risk, Agri-Risk Advisors, they are here to help. With current day market fluctuations, there is nothing more important than locking in a price floor on your cattle. So if you would like to learn more about an LRP, go ahead and reach out to an advisor today. Also sponsored by American Beef Producer Magazine. They offer in-depth articles on a wide variety of topics within our industry. They feature award-winning photography and so much more within their publication. For some reason, if you are not subscribed to the magazine, head on over to their website, abpmag.com. On their main page, you will find a large subscribe button up in the right-hand corner. All you got to do is click on that and they will get you fixed up. American Beef Producer Magazine, guiding beef producers for over 25 years. And finally, Circle 5 Cow School. If you would like to learn how to price check your own cows or start AIing, Circle 5 Cow School is the way to go. They host classes almost every week from Texas to Tennessee. To view their schedule, head on over to circle5cowschool.com. That is the number 5 in there, or you can go ahead and just give them a follow on Facebook. Drovers has reported that according to the USDA, some data that they brought together that was compiled by the U.S. Meat Export Federation, USMEF, U.S. beef and pork exports continued on a record pace through November of last year. November beef export value topped $1 billion, which was up 49% year over year, and it exceeded the previous high that was set in August. Beef exports totaled 123,641 metric tons in November, which was up 7% from the year before and was the fourth largest monthly volume in the post-BSE era. For the time period of January through November of 2021, beef exports were on record volume pace at 1.32 million metric tons, up 16% from 2020. Also during that same time period, the beef export value increased more than $2.5 billion from the year before, which was an increase of 39% to $9.59 billion. So on the other side of the coin, the Oklahoma Farm Report has reported that total beef imports in the month of November were up 27.5% compared to the same month a year before, but they were down 1.8% from the year to date for the January through November time period. For the first 11 months of 2021, beef imports from Canada were up 14.4%. As it stands today, Canada is currently the largest source of beef imports here in the United States, accounting for 28.6% of beef imports through November of 2021. For the first 11 months of last year, total live cattle imports decreased by 17%. Canadian live cattle imports were down 7.1%, and Mexican live cattle imports dropped 21.9%. U.S. cattle exports to Canada and Mexico increased by 69.1% for January through November of last year. Net cattle imports through November were down 32% compared to the previous year. 2021 saw a significant increase in beef byproducts. Year over year, their value increased 54%. As we begin 2022, beef exports are expected to pull back a bit. However, we are expected lower imports this year. Reuters has reported that China and the Philippines have suspended imports of Canadian beef after Canada reported a case of BSE back in December. China and the Philippines are now following suit with South Korea, who halted Canadian beef imports immediately after that BSE case was reported. In case you don't remember, the BSE case was reported as an atypical case in an 8.5-year-old beef cow located in Alberta, as I said, in December. This is Canada's first BSE case in 6 years. According to Dennis Laycraft, Canadian Cattlemen's Association's Executive Vice President, the disruption has yet to have any noticeable impact on Canadian cattle or beef prices. Laycraft expects the suspensions to be short in duration. Red Bluff Daily News has reported that out in California, a new crime is sweeping the countryside: the theft of T-posts. So far, fence posts have been reported stolen in Tehama, Glenn, and Shasta counties. The thieves aren't taking any wire, and the pattern in which they steal the posts is pretty random. There will be stretches where posts are just completely gone for miles, and then sometimes it's just random out of a fence line. So the obvious consequences of such theft is that farmers and ranchers, they have to replace these posts, and they have to gather any livestock that get out because the fence is just, it's gone to hell. And then the worst case scenario is when livestock obviously get out on the highway and they get hit by a vehicle. So a $6,000 reward for information leading to the successful arrest and prosecution of the responsible individuals has been set up. Shadrad.com out of Shadron, Nebraska has reported that Nebraska cattle producers will now have the option to use electronic brand inspection for identification. According to the Nebraska Brand Committee Executive Director John Widowson, the e-inspection service is being requested by Nebraska producers, and the Brand Committee is now taking stakeholder input on this option. He believes that it is vital for the Brand Committee to keep up with the industry, but in the same breath, he said that this option is not for everybody. Traditional branding will not be replaced by this new e-verify system. Producers will still have the option to use a hot iron brand, or they can freeze brand their cattle. As time goes on, the use of EIDs as proof of ownership may end the need for a brand inspector to go out and physically inspect cattle, according to Widowson. He closed by saying that the Brand Committee will be using blockchain technology to secure information from potential cyber attacks. That is all I have for you guys this morning. I hope your week is off to a great start. Have a terrific Tuesday. I'll catch you later.